Hello! If you're back after my long rant last week, I'm so happy. I promise I won't be as angry in this one. Rather, I'm going to be talking about 3 films that you should rewatch and why. Just to get into today's topic, films you should rewatch. Now, I know a ton of people who are like, I don't rewatch films, why would I do that? But I do think for some films, for some movie experiences, you get a lot out of it the second time. Unlike the Neon Demon, where you just get that all the cool stuff you saw the first time just doesn't mean anything. That's the last time I'm going to talk about the Neon Demon ever in my life, I swear. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do this episode. I'm going to tell you the 3 films that you should rewatch. I'm going to put a spoiler alert, and then I'm going to explain in detail why you should watch them. So yeah, the 3 films that you should rewatch if you haven't, or if you've only seen them once, or blah blah blah, are Goodnight Mommy. I believe it's a German film. I don't know if it might be an Austrian film. It's in German, so. The second one is The Hateful Eight, and the third one is Showgirls. So now, if you want to go watch them, rewatch them, come back, do that. I am going to go ahead and put a spoiler alert now because I'm going to go into why I think you should watch them. Now, the first one, Goodnight Mommy. Now, Goodnight Mommy is a narrative about these 2 twin boys who, think that their mom is an imposter. Like, their mom got plastic surgery and she is wrapped up, in all these bandages, and they think that somebody has replaced their mom, and the entire film is them trying to figure out if she is or is not their mom, and it creates very effective horror, and it's one of the most horrifying movies I've ever seen in my life. So at the end of the film, the caveat is that you find out that one of the twin boys has been dead the entire time, and the twin that's alive has been projecting his image, thinking of him, and, trying to, I suppose, place blame for his death on somebody, and he's taking it out through the mother and through the mother figure. Now, rewatching it is something that's so interesting and so cool, because when you rewatch it, I personally didn't get it the first time. I didn't understand until, the very end when it was explained, but, rewatching the film really showcases a lot of really interesting cinematography things and a lot of really interesting blocking things. Now, when I say that, I mean, when you rewatch the film, you realize that not a single person except for the one twin boy acknowledges the dead twin. So that is something that is super interesting and super carried out throughout. And when you really watch for it, I mean, even if you're like, oh, I'm going to catch them and they're going to acknowledge, they never do. And it's so interesting to watch. It's so cool. And the way that it foreshadows is super interesting. So that's one reason. That's why I, just rewatch Goodnight Mommy for that, if anything else, because that acting is remarkable, and holding a decision through for the entire process like that is super interesting and super amazing. So yeah. Now, the second film is The Hateful Eight. As so many of you know, I am obsessed with The Hateful Eight. I love The Hateful Eight so much. And I think you should rewatch it. Now The Hateful Eight and Showgirls, when I go into Showgirls, they're very similar reasons as to why you should rewatch it. There's little things that Tarantino puts in the script that foreshadows every single event. And it's so entertaining to rewatch it a second time because you I think The Hateful Eight is a great mystery piece because throughout the entire first time you're watching it, at least for me, you're trying to solve the mystery along with the characters, and you're trying to think of evidence, and you're trying to go through, and you're trying to, detective it out and figure it out before all the other characters do. And then the second time you watch it, it's really interesting because you're like, where is the other evidence? Where's the other evidence that I can see? Where's this and that? Blah, blah, blah. One specific thing that I screamed at the second time I watched it is, if you've seen The Hateful Eight, you know that Kurt Russell gets his arm, ripped off, chopped off and ripped off. Now, there's this really funny part where, he gets Daisy Domergue, the woman who's stuck onto his arm, gets punched and they both fall out of the carriage, and Kurt Russell has a throwaway line at the beginning that's like, gosh, you're gonna rip my arm off. And just little things like that just make rewatching The Hateful Eight so fun and so interesting, and I love it. And that's why I think you should rewatch The Hateful Eight. That one line, no. There's a lot more when you rewatch it. I'm not going to go into detail about every little thing you'll see, but you should 100% rewatch The Hateful Eight. Excellent film to rewatch. So the final film you should rewatch is Showgirls. Now, I'm a firm believer that Showgirls is an excellent film, and I love it. It's in my top 10 films of all time, and I think it's excellent. However, similar to The Hateful Eight, you really see a lot of beats and a lot of things in the cinematography, in the set dressing, in the script that foreshadows things that happen later on, and it's just so interesting to watch. It's so interesting to rewatch, to kind of see the world building that the film does, one, but also to kind of see, the things that are going to happen later. So as you all know, who if you've seen Showgirls, the lead in this like big Vegas performance named Crystal Connors, she gets pushed down like this flight of stairs up to the stage by Nomi Malone, and then Nomi Malone takes over as the lead in the Vegas show. So one little thing, when you rewatch it, you hear like little lines here and there, like when Nomi Malone first gets the job at Goddess at the Vegas show, and she's being led around. There's one throwaway line that goes, "Make sure you're careful when you're going down these stairs. You might fall and hurt yourself." And like just little things like that really just enhance when you rewatch, because you're like, "What? Oh my God!" Blah. It's like that Adult Swim meme where it's like, it's just so amazing to rewatch, because you find little things like that, and it's like almost like having an inside joke with the movie, or like a little inside where you're like, oh man, I know, I remember that, I saw that, oh my God, I can't believe that, blah 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 blah. But yeah, little things like that, and there's even like, little posters that are around, little things like that. It's just so interesting. It's like watching Hot Fuzz, right? And then, they have that big Romeo and Juliet show that happens that's really bad. But then the rest of the film, you see like the little posters sprinkled around town, World building like that is something you really get out of Showgirls when you rewatch it a second time, and which really enhances the film for me personally. So yeah, those are 3 films I think you should rewatch. What films do you think we should rewatch, This is kind of a short episode, but, that's okay. That's all good. But yeah, those are 3 films I love rewatching over and over again, except Goodnight Mommy. I watched it twice, and I think that's enough, actually. I think I'm good. I think I'm good now. But what films do you rewatch? What films do you get a good experience out of rewatching? Sorry, I hit the mic. I'm so sorry. I would love to know. Let me know on the YouTube comments, or, send me an email, or, go on Instagram and let me know. But I will see you guys I'll see you guys in June. I can't believe it. It's already like almost June. It feels like it was just like the year, feels like the year just began like yesterday, but wow. Yeah, whatever, I guess. So I will see you guys on June 4th, with a new set, all that stuff.